Aloha! Beautiful, amazing pod. Our incredible global family. We are out for a little stroll and we are sharing a transmission tonight. It's called Hunab. Called Hunab and arriving at the Sophia the 13th Aeon. Anyways, all the details are in the description box, and that's just really a part of why we're doing this love stream. What's really coming through on this miraculous day is, even though time isn't real and doesn't exist, and as our consciousness ascends, it transcends calendars and time clocks and Roman Greco and all of those things. If time were real, or if the nodal point of 2022 meant something to us, what 2022 is really all about is the courage of the human heart to wake oneself up and to truly speak out one's truth, which is creativity. The ultimate apex of any journey is art. And it's even coded into the genetics. The 64th hexagram of the I Ching is about becoming the divine embodied by converting the shadow frequency of one's journey into beauty, into art. And that's the purpose of the pressure of the journey, and why in the last few miraculous years people have felt such deep pressure, because it's a natural part of the alchemical process of transfiguration, and even more exciting, transposition of consciousness. So transfiguration is an alchemical process of metamorphosis, of physicality transforming its form. And as we shared many times before, and anyone who's familiar with cymatics is the shifting of the orientation of particles that create a form. And what causes those particles to shift, to break their bonds and create a new form, is a shifting in frequency, a shifting in the sound that is being sent out by the cosmos. And so that sound transforms the orientation of the particles that are holding what appears to be a solid form in form. And that is this great transfiguration and metamorphosis. Transposition of consciousness is when the consciousness is set free from its bonds to the form. If this love stream is inspiring, please share it. That's called gifting. So transposition is what happens when the consciousness becomes free of its identification with its attachment, with its belief that it is form. And Aloha. Okay, so transposition is when the consciousness sets itself free from its bondage or its belief that it is form. And that's the transcendence of attachment to time and gravity. And so it's what people experience when they do things like meditation. And as the consciousness sustains that, I don't know, the guidance is saying that morphogenic field, as it becomes very familiar to be in that place beyond form, the consciousness becomes unified with oneness. And in that place of oneness, transposition of consciousness can occur, which is that the consciousness becomes merged with the beyond quantum, the field where all things are generated from. And as the consciousness has no identification with form, it can take a transposition leap, which means that one can come out of a meditation and everything can be transformed in one's life. And what is currently happening is a transposition where many beings are transcending their identification with the form. And that is an occurrence that has come from nature's way of signaling that it was time for a great change. And that has been called many things on the planet that has occurred in the last few years. One of the words is pandemic, which we don't use very often because to us, that was the answer to our prayer for the great transposition in consciousness to occur. So as many go deep, deeper than their egos would have chosen to have them go, we begin to discover that we are eternal, that we are pure source consciousness in form, and we are on the precipice of a great cosmic transposition. So just like in cymatics, if you pour sand onto a steel plate and you run a frequency through that plate, it forms geometry that looks kind of like a snowflake. And if you run a different frequency through that steel plate, then a different snowflake-like geometry appears. And that is what is happening to our physical world now. We are on the precipice. In one of the calendric systems created by, or brought through as a transmission by a man named Jose Arguelles with his beloved Lloydine, it is said that this day we are aligned with the galactic center, the Hunab, the galactic butterfly. If this love stream is inspiring, please share it. That's called gifting. So we are aligned with the Hunab. We are aligned with 0 point on this miraculous day, even though days aren't real and time isn't real and all those things. But they all make great metaphors. It's kind of like you can think about working out, but if you sign up for a gym membership, you are more likely to go for the workout. So on a cosmic level, nothing is real and nothing exists, including nothing. and everything simultaneous. So the calendric systems become metaphorical for us, like having a pass at the gym. We are more likely to go for the workout. The calendric systems show us rhythmic patterns in time. And when we have conscious awareness of them, we are more likely to consciously align with them. So this miracle day, we are aligned with the great central sun, the Hunab, the galactic butterfly. And tonight's transmission will go into more of this energy. The transmissions are always in the space between the words, and so just like this one, when we come into this transmission, we are receiving something in the space between the words that may be bringing a tremendous activation. Parts of our life and our journey might just all start to make sense and come together just by hearing a few words woven together. If this love stream is inspiring, please share it. That's called gifting. So this alignment with 0 point and the Hunab and the galactic butterfly and the stargates of our planetary consciousness, this planetary body that we are morphogenically connected to and all a part of because we're all one, is traversing its way through the garden gates with the assistance and participation of many conscious beings collaborating collectively with the planetary consciousness. The Hunab. So if we were to talk a little bit more about 2022 and the courage of the human heart to overcome, if just for but a moment we considered that we were on an allegorical journey through time, gravity, and space, a journey of redemption to unify the polarities within us, a redemptive journey to come back to oneness and wholeness inside of us. We have reached that critical mass in the collective, and we are in perfect alignment. We're crossing a busy road as a green light. Okay. So 2022, what should we do with that number? What is the navigational coordinate? It is to redeem oneself in totality into the hero that you be. Many miracle years ago, when we were on our journey with the grids of the planet, delivering bundles on behalf of the indigenous to specific sacred sites all over the planet. When we were in Israel, the guidance said in every ceremony, claim your role in the play. Just claim it and announce it to everyone. And as you do, invite everyone else to claim their role too. and invite everyone to go for the Academy Award, because the guidance would say the play is coming to an end soon. And for those who go for it, they will be so gracious filled that they just didn't sit in a chair hanging out waiting for someone else to claim that award for them. Transfiguration, metamorphosis, transposition of consciousness occurs when we dig deep, when we face the unknown again and again, listening to the whispers of the heart. If the heart says pick up the phone and tell someone you love them, and you do it, I guarantee every time we listen, every miracle we listen to the wisdom of the heart and we follow through on the simple action step. This is the key to unlocking our superabundance, because we are restoring our relationship with the heart. It's why the Hopi elders said a time would come to pass when our survival would be contingent on the quality of our heart. So through the last few years, many people have been on the journey of reopening, of unlocking the 7 sacred seals that we place around the heart as we went through the challenges of the journey. This love stream is inspiring. Please share it. That's called gifting. And so something big had to come at a planetary level to assist people to release their clutch to the comfort zones, to the avoidance and denial of going into those sometimes deep, dark, and uncomfortable places within to resolve our miscreations. John Kimmy, who was a carrier of the Hopi cloth for the Hopi people, wrote this beautiful post back in 2010 when I first met him, and it said, "The fourth world was created to resolve our miscreations in time from our misunderstandings of cosmic principles." And so the universe created situations in the last few miracle years to assist the collective to go into those places that the school system wasn't teaching people to go. There was no guidebook written about this time, at least that was available to the mass collective. And so to be in alignment with the energetic shifts of the planetary body and to go with her through the Hunab coup, the galactic butterfly, which is happening now. Many of us prayed and called in assistance to create something that would help our brothers and sisters to dive deeper inside of themselves to places they may not wish to have ventured. And we prayed for this to come so that we all move together as one with the shift in the planetary consciousness that is going from terrestrial to celestial. Heaven as one, the 13th Aeon of Sophia. Tonight's transmission, if you're guided to join, all the details are in the description box. And it will be like being on the deck of the mothership, guiding her through the stargates into the 13th Aeon. So one of the reasons we were guided to share this love stream today was to invite and to say again, 2022, the courage of the human heart to overcome its fear, to unify the opposites within ourselves, so that we come together as one unified field of consciousness. It takes a lot of courage to face the places inside of us that we were never guided to face, that we didn't have the understanding until the last few decades to really go deep. "2022 is to follow your heart, and if you feel love, do not hold back from expressing it. Coherence and transparency are key to the unlocking of our superabundance, which is our birthright to move forth together into the 13th Aeon of the Sophia Christos. What some call the fifth dimension, and we say, oh, it's so much more. And one final piece to share is that in the fictional fiction, as we call it, that place that we arose from, those, what we used to call reality, and is very clearly for most becoming obvious that it's all fiction. In the fictional fiction, whoever controlled the narrative controlled the consciousness. "2022 is to ask yourself, what is my narrative? What is the voice of my human heart directing and guiding me to do, to be, to say, to draw, to paint, to dance, to sing, alive and awake into this world, this beautiful world of celebration." So we say 2022 is the miracle jubilee, and that each being rise within the collective we in full expression of the journey of the human heart. The power of the human heart to love each other, to love everything that we've known, everything that we have experienced, and to know that we are collectively rising into something truly, profoundly miraculous together. I put a link for my mailing list in the description box if you want to join the Cosmic Quantum Creators, and we're going to start calling it the Beyond Cosmic Quantum Creators. If you want to join the mailing list to receive mail outs for the offerings that are coming, please do. And if you want to join tonight's retreat, there is all the details in the description box. And I put 2 Spreaker transmissions that we did recently in the description box as well. Do not underestimate the power of those meditations. They are simplified in words. The transmission in the space between the words is off the charts and aligns our consciousness with transposition. So we will be doing a retreat called What is Your Narrative? And we'll be sending out details on that via the mailing list to really assist all of we to discover what our true narrative is inside of we, and to birth that, to be shared with all of life and all of humanity. The greatest renaissance ever. So if this love stream was inspiring, please share it. That's called gifting. I love you. We love we. Tonight's transmission, Hunab, the arrival of Sophia and the 13th Aeon. If you're inspired, come jump on the ride as we go through the portal, as we go through the Stargate on this planetary body, like being on the deck of the mothership and seeing it with open eyes. We love we thank we for walking with we. It's the miracle jubilee. So open up that human heart and share your love everywhere. Aloha.